But yeah, all right, let's do this NFL team ranking tier list. All right, Eagles. I don't want to rate these motherfuckers, but I guess I don't have a choice. F tier. No, I'm kidding. They're an A tier team. They had that 1 year in the Super Bowl, probably breaking into their bridge. I mean, I don't know, dude. After you beat him in Fortnite, he kind of changed, bro. I don't know what happened to him, but he changed. But yeah, NFL tier list. We're gonna go Eagles at A tier. They had their year last year, or not last year, but the year before that when they made it to the Super Bowl, and then this year they like shit the bed. I don't know what happened. They got smoked by the Bucks, so that was a little weird. They definitely shouldn't have lost that game, but they did. So Eagles A tier. They're a good team. They have a good roster. They got a really promising year this year with Saquon in the backfield. They definitely rebuilt their defense. They got a whole lot of corner. They got Cooper DeJean, I think, in the draft, and another like top corner prospect. So they definitely have potential to do even better than what they did last year. They might be able to win a Super Bowl. Doubt it'll happen, but hey, just gotta let them cook. Packers B tier team. They have potential to be that A tier team, but if we're gonna go off last season, right? I would say the Packers would 100% be able to beat the Eagles. But we're gonna look at the future here. With the current roster the Eagles have, the potential they have, I think they'd beat the Packers. Eagles go to the Super Bowl and lose 50-7. Thank God Sargent ain't here. You know he throw a fit. Vikings. I don't like the JJ McCarthy signing. I think they'll be D. Even with Jay Jettis, I just don't think they're not going to make an impact like the Packers did. Like, maybe he blows my socks off, but I doubt it. Ravens. The addition of Derrick Henry, I guess I'm just going to have to put him at SS. Like, as much as I hate to do it, I hate doing this, but Ravens SS with Derrick Henry. Hopefully they learn how to fucking run the ball this time. They couldn't with Gus Edwards when he was doing really good, so I don't know. Hopefully with Derrick Henry they'll learn their fucking lesson. Browns, they will never go anywhere with Deshaun Watson. I will argue anyone on that. Deshaun Watson fucking sucks. They got fleeced by the Texans. 100% got fleeced by the Texans. C tier team. Bengals. With no T. Higgins, possibly. JJ's still a better QB than Josh Dobbs. I mean, Josh Dobbs sucks, bro. He's a backup. He's been a backup all his life. Like, he doesn't suck. Well, he's a backup for a reason. We'll just put it like that. There's a reason why he's playing a backup role. But we'll see. We'll see what happens this year. I don't think JJ McCarthy is that guy, but who knows? He might be. Bengals. Yeah, I'd say A tier. I would argue and say S, but no T. Higgins, possibly. No Tyler Boyd, and the loss of Joe Mixon. I don't care what people say. Joe Mixon was a good running back. But yeah, A tier. They still got Jamar. Joe Burrow should be healthy. I'm not too tapped in with their defense. I know they lost a couple players in the offseason, but yeah, they're about the same level as the Eagles. I think they would beat the Eagles though. So let's do this. Top of A tier. Steelers. I hate to do this to my team. C tier. Who knows what the fuck happens to the Steelers this year, to be honest. Russell Wilson could literally shit the bed. And then fucking Justin Fields comes out and then also shits the bed. Who knows? Like I said, it's going to be a 50-50 type thing. So we'll never know until the season starts. But there's a lot of new linemen they drafted. We could have a top run game. But who knows? There's only one way to find out. When the season starts, I think we will be like a B tier team, but I don't think if we played I know we beat them last year, but I don't think we'd beat the Packers. The Packers have like excelled so far. Illuminati. Okay. Broncos, honestly, I'm willing to put them F tier. They have nobody. They have Bo Nix, Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Ben DiNucci as their quarterback. That might be the worst quarterback room in NFL history. Like, dude, that quarterback room sucks balls. I literally think they will be almost a potential 0-16 team this year. unless Bo Nix stuns everyone, but I really don't think that's going to happen. I think Broncos will be F. They will not be good this year. Chiefs. Fortunately, SS tier, they won a Super Bowl. They beat the fucking Ravens, which were projected to win the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Chiefs SS, unfortunately. Hate to say it, but yeah. Chargers. Unless they do something about that wide receiver room, I think I put them at C tier. I think Justin Herbert, yes, he's promising, but drafting a tackle at 5 was the dumbest thing they could have ever done. I believe at that pick they could have got Malik Neighbors or definitely like Romo Dunze, because I know he went at 9 to the Bears. But I mean, like, bro, what were the Chargers thinking? Like, I get protect your quarterback, but like, bro, yeah, I guess you're getting a really good generational tackle at pick 5. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with the Chargers pick there, but we gotta let them cook, you know. Bucks promising. They have a lot of They have a lot of light to shine. Mike Evans getting that contract. Baker Mayfield, if he does the same thing he did last year, hey, B tier team. B tier team. Everybody thought they were gonna be fucking terrible without Tom Brady. They're not the same team they are with Tom Brady, but they're still a good team. They whooped the Eagles' ass, and then they almost. I think who they played? They played the Lions, right? Illuminati. I'm not an Illuminati, dude. But yeah, I believe they almost beat the Lions, I think it was. But they made a stupid call at the very end of the game, cost them the game. But yeah. B tier team, easily. Rams. No Aaron Donald, so that defense is gonna be so different next year. Fuck. It's between B and C. B and C for sure. Okay. See, the question is, right? The Rams could definitely beat Puka Nacua. Matt Stafford probably at the end of his career here with these next couple of years. I still think I'd put them at B. I'm just trying to think of like this season. I'm trying to like rank these according to seasons and how they played last season. Kind of looking at their future here, but also looking at their past, if that makes any sense. They did surprisingly good when no one thought they were going to do good. A lot of their late round, like 5 picks, did really well this year. I know the D tackle, I think they picked up Kobe Turner, I think his name was, had a really solid year this year. Kyron Williams popped up out of nowhere, stunning running back. I know they picked up the Michigan guy that basically won the championship for Michigan. So regardless of Matt Stafford being on his end years of his career, I think they could do something very similar to what they did last year. They did get first round, I believe, by the Lions, but they have potential to do some. They have a good future ahead of them. Raiders, there was a lot of hype around the Christian Wilkins signing, and that duo between Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. Their defense is going to be really solid this year, but I don't think it's going to help them win games. Well, let me take that back. It'll help them win games, but their offense is just lacking. They don't have a quarterback. Granted, they have Gardner Minshew, which had a really good, surprisingly solid season with the Colts, but can he replicate that with a whole different team? Granted, he has damn near an S tier receiver in Devontae Adams, but I mean, I don't know. No Josh Jacobs this year. I believe they lost a couple different players other than that. I would probably put them about C tier, if not D tier. It just really depends on that quarterback play. They had a really bad start to the season with Jimmy G. They brought it back. They still didn't finish with a 500 record. That's all right, though. But with the new coaching staff as well, I think that changed the mentality of the Raiders completely. It honestly changed their whole franchise around. Will it be enough to bring them up to a B tier? No. C tier. Better than the Chargers. I put the Steelers above the Browns. Because, I'm biased. Nah, okay, I'm kidding. The Titans. They picked up a lot of people. I know for sure they got L'Jarius Sneed and Tony Pollard. Sneaky, good pickups from me. I think legit question. Here we go. What, Sergeant? What do you want from me? Why is the Raiders over Vikings? The Broncos don't have a quarterback. They have no one on their team. And I don't know if JJ McCarthy's that guy. Even with Jay Jettas being that receiver, this guy loves to just spam RPO. He just runs the ball all the time. I don't think he's going to be the guy for the Vikings. And the Raiders, they're kind of in a similar situation, right? But they have a guy. They got Gardner Minshew. He had a good season with the Colts. And that Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby duo, I think, will make the difference for the Raiders to help them win a lot of games. They turned their season around with the new coaching staff. And I think that'll carry on to this season and still make them a pretty solid team. The Broncos, I got no hope for them. They have no money. They got no quarterback. They really don't have any receivers. All they got is Cortland Sutton. Jerry Jeudy's gone. Cortland Sutton is not that great of a receiver. And they lost Justin Simmons in free agency. I can't wait for both those teams to have a better record than the Raiders. I mean, I'm not like a Raiders defender, but I mean, like, we'll see. It also depends on their schedule. I haven't paid attention to either of their schedules, but I know the Raiders do got to play like that whole division. I bet you the Raiders sweep the Broncos. I could tell you that, and I'm almost willing to bet you, the Chargers probably have a worse record than the Raiders. Raiders are D or F. You just don't know ball, bro. You don't know ball. I'm sorry. You don't know ball. Titans, Will Levis at quarterback. He's got potential. There's room for improvement for him, obviously. He had that crazy comeback game against the Dolphins right toward the end of the season. I think that bumped up his potential for me a little bit. You don't know ball. Just wait. Remember this conversation. Okay. I'm not going to say it's a valid conversation, though, if the Vikings have, like, one of the easiest schedules in the league. Like, I mean... fuck it, bro. Let's look at the Vikings schedule. Vikings schedule. All right, the Minnesota Vikings. I know they got to play the Lions 2 times a year. I bet you the Lions sweep them. Okay. I'll let it go through. Oh, this is easier. Can I get next year's? All right. No link. Here we go. Home games, Packers. I bet you they lose. They trade wins with them. The Bears. I honestly think the Bears will sweep them this year. The Lions will sweep them. I think Kirk Cousins does not get his revenge game. They lose to the Falcons, or they beat the Falcons. The Colts. Anthony Richardson being back. I think the Colts win. Cardinals, 50-50 game with Marvin Harrison. I don't know. Stop, bro. Jets, they probably beat the Jets. The Niners are going to lose. The Texans are going to lose. Titans, they probably beat the Titans. They probably beat the Giants. I'd say they beat the Jags. Lose to the Rams and Seahawks. I just don't think they will be that great of a team. I think the Seahawks are just a better team all around. It just kind of depends on Geno Smith and how he plays. He kind of had a mid-season last season, but if he has that one season when he came back to the league as a starting quarterback, the Seahawks could be a team you don't want to fuck with. But let me get back to the list here. Titans, I don't know. They got Lazarius Sneed now. That's a really solid piece of a really solid player on defense. Probably one of the better corners in the league. I don't think he allowed a touchdown at all last season, so it's a good key piece for them. Don't know why the Chiefs would really get rid of him, other than the money issues, but I'd probably put him at C tier. C tier for me. Colts, Anthony Richardson being back, Jonathan Taylor fully healthy, Michael Pittman, and they got a key, like a very great edge rusher. They got a pretty solid D line as well. I don't know if DeForest Buckner still plays for them. I think he does. I don't know if he's retired already, but I'm pretty sure he still plays. They got a good team. They have a good offense. Questionable about the defense, but I'm not too familiar with the Colts as an organization. I'm not like a huge Colts watcher, but I will say they're B tier. Y'all are gonna hate me in chat for that, but yeah, it's just it's just how it is, bro. Colts are going to be B tier. Anthony Richardson being back, he's a great QB. He showed flashes of being really great before he got injured. I think he takes him. He takes him far. Texans. Do I want to put them S tier? I'm gonna put them S tier only because, well, shit. I don't think they'd beat the. I don't think they'd beat the Chiefs, but I think they could beat the fucking Ravens. I think they could beat the Ravens, but I don't think they're on the same level. You know what I mean? They can definitely be that Super Bowl winning team, but you got to get past these two guys. And I think you can get past these guys, but can you get past these guys? Especially with their new additions. Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Can I get a 20-piece nugget meal and a Sprite? Okay. I don't work at McDonald's, dude. Okay. Patriots, regardless of drafting Drake May, think they're in the same boat. They have nobody. They got no one. The only promising, like, rookie they got is Christian Gonzalez. But he's on defense. He can't fucking change the game for him. Dolphins, kind of same boat. They lost Christian Wilkins. A couple of their linemen. But I still think, that Reek to Tua connection will be great. A tier. Bills. See, now the Bills, on the other hand. I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. They lost a lot of people. They lost Diggs, Gabe Davis. They lost Tre'Davious White. A lot of their linemen. D or C? You think D or C? God, remember they got Josh Allen, though. Like, you can't count Josh Allen out. He's a fucking amazing quarterback. I still think, personally, they're a B tier team. I would have put them A. I think they could. They shown that. Well, that was last year, though. So I don't really know. I don't know if they'd be able to beat the Dolphins with their current roster. I think they would, just because the Dolphins choke a lot. Would they be able to beat the Eagles? That's a 50-50 game for me. I think they played with each other last year, and the Bills slightly edged them out. Slightly, I think. But I don't know. But I think they could easily sweep any of these teams. I think they're bottom A tier. Bottom A tier. They have potential to beat the teams, but we gotta see how their rookies pan out. They got a lot of trust in them. Okay, this is where I'm gonna get hate. The Jags fucking suck dick. Dude, Trevor Lawrence sucks balls. He has these random games where he does hella good, and then he sucks. I'm putting him at D because I guarantee you they do shit this year. They're not winning their division, I can tell you that. I think they place third. Third in their division. I think it's what? It's Texans, Colts, Jags, right? And then... Fuck. What's that division? Jags division. South. Yeah, AFC South. AFC South. Alright, that's the North, East, West, South. Texans, Jaguars, okay. Also, on that order, can I get you to admit the Steelers are ass? I have them at C tier, bro. They're gonna be mid like they are every year. I'm not like a delusional fan. Yeah, I'll sit there and say that they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, but obviously I'm lying, bro. Like, my team's not gonna make a Super Bowl for like another 10 years, bro. I'll have to wait on that. But hopefully, once Patrick Mahomes like retires or something, there'll be that chance. But until then, no, not anytime soon. I hope, but I doubt it. Nope. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this division, I think the Colts will do better than them. I think they'll place third. So I have them C tier. Then CJ will take over. Yeah, fuck, I kind of forgot. But CJ's still on. I'll put Jags above the Raiders. Right there with the Browns. Seahawks. C tier. They're basically the NFC South version of the Steelers. They can't get it done. They're very mid. They have a great roster, but can't get it done. They either miss the playoffs or they get first rounded. So for that, I'm gonna have to I'll put the Seahawks. I think if they played each other, I think the Browns would probably win. So I'll leave the Seahawks right here, fourth. Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Now, if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, this could be a B tier team. If he doesn't stay healthy, F tier. So there's a very different spectrum here we got going on here. Aaron Rodgers, he's got weapons. They got a great defense. I didn't realize how decent, like how well of a defense the Jets actually had until I watched a couple of their games. They actually don't have a bad defense. Like I think some of their linemen, like their D tackles, aren't the greatest. I think you can run on the Jets pretty well, but that like midfield, like their DBs are solid. Their safeties are a little iffy, but you know, I think they probably addressed that in the draft. Maybe I'm hoping. But yeah, I think this year the Jets can be a B tier team. Not better than any of these teams, but I mean, yeah. Niners, SS tier. Made it to the Super Bowl. Well, I put the Ravens over because they got bent over when the Ravens played the Niners. So yeah, I'll put the Ravens above them, even though they made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Panthers, I think, will still be bad. F tier. They just don't really have, like, they added a lot of people, but I just don't think it's gonna make a huge difference. Unless they have a really easy schedule this year. I just don't think Bryce Young has the correct weapons. He's got Deontay, he's got Adam Thielen, but I don't know. They don't really have that guy yet. Oh, same for the Saints. They're Falcons. Let's do Falcons. Kirko stays healthy. C tier team. Ooh, maybe B tier. B tier because Kirko does have a lot of weapons. He's got Bijan. He's got Kyle Pitts. He's got Drake London. And even if he goes down, there's that opportunity that Michael Penix can come in and actually be that guy for the Falcons. But we don't know that. We're just gonna go strictly off of Kirko here, and Kirk can be an amazing player. He really can. Now, their defense is what's holding them back from being that A-tier team. Their defense sucked, and they absolutely fumbled in the draft. Like, why didn't they either just trade down or take their guy at 8? They needed D linemen. They needed D tackles and edge rushers and linemen, or not linemen, but linebackers. They went for a quarterback. So that's what's holding them back from being that A-tier team. Now, like I was saying, Kirk has weapons, and Kirk is already an amazing quarterback. No, not amazing. Let me slow my roll a little bit. He's older. He's got, half an ACL in one of his legs. It'll be a 50-50 season for him. He usually does really well, though. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt if we want to act like his season. We'll go, not his last season, but the season before that, he's usually a very solid QB. Always puts up great stats. Granted, he can't really make the playoffs. I mean, he can, but he's never successful. But he's a great stat guy. He's got a lot of great stats. If you want to look at his stats compared to his wins, take the wins away for a minute. He's got really great stats. He's a great stat guy. Saints. Derek Carr, you're not going far with Derek Carr. I'm sorry, dude. You're just not. I'd put him. They'd probably be the third best team in F tier. Giants. Ramon Dunze, Daniel Jones. It just doesn't sound like a right option. I don't know. Commanders. They picked up a lot of people, and I think they kind of had a sneaky decent draft. They could low-key be a B tier team, but we gotta kind of see. Oh yeah, my bad. Malik Neighbors, my fault. Not Rome. But yeah, it's 50-50 with Jaden Daniels. We don't know yet, so yeah, I'd put him at C. I could put him high C tier, right there, middle of the pack. Because they had that potential with Jaden Daniels. If Jaden Daniels, is that guy, they could easily be, top A, B tier. Just based off their draft. I mean, is Luke McCaffrey really that good, though? You know what I'm saying? I know they had, a fuck ton of draft picks, but, I know they picked up some really necessary picks, though. They got a QB. I know they had a couple of receivers. They got some linemen, some, linebackers. They got a little bit of everything. I'm not going to lie. Cowboys. Yeah, I know he's a wide receiver, but I didn't really pay attention. I know he was probably gonna get drafted high just because of his name, kind of like Brendan Rice, but he didn't get drafted that high. He went to the Chargers, I think, like round 5 or 6, I think. Cowboys regular season demons can't do shit in the playoffs. Exactly why they're getting an A tier. Cardinals C tier. I mean, they didn't really add anybody. They got Marvin Harrison, arguably one of the best receivers in the draft class. We'll see how that pans out in the NFL, but I don't think it'll be too much different from his college days. I think he'll still be like a great ass player. But one player cannot make the huge difference for a team. I mean, he can, but Lions S tier. Their come up is so crazy. They're exactly like the Texans. They had shitty years for a long time, and they turned around. Both these teams turned around their organizations within a year. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see two teams that were shitty for like ever be really good. So that's cool. And I'm gonna reach on this way too early predictions. Bears at A tier, just because they have a lot of people, and Caleb Williams, if he's a bust, it wouldn't be surprising. It's just the Bears thing, But yeah, there you go. There's my list.
Cash off the racks on my problems. But it don't work. No, it won't work out. But it don't work.